Hello and welcome to Fields of Thunder version 2. So, in case you haven't noticed, it has been recently updated. Not necessarily upgraded, that's personal opinion. It is not my opinion. But in this one, two very good players, Funkoff, Voodoo, have been playing each other for years. And I see Funkoff in the mix as well. Playing as Seraphim. Used to play quite a bit of UEF. Of course, Voodoo still staying true to UEF. Now this is one of the maps that's quite difficult for Aeon, so in this one no Aeon, but we'll see how the two strong factions on this one do. Although Cybern recently has also been quite strong, and really the reason that it's so good for UEF and Seraphim is all this mass in the middle. It's actually quite a bit of mass, and actually looking up ahead, a bunch of rocks in that mountain and behind the mountain, looking in the other direction, same thing. And what actually has been changed, there's now a whole bunch of rocks and trees here as well. And a pretty nice chunk of mass right there where there used to be reclaim. But basically, compared to the previous version, this has quite a bit more mass, especially closer to the starting position. Funkoff first land walking out with ACU, 2 engineers to the Hydra. ACU is going to help the Hydra. Looks like 2 more land factories, so pretty big land spam. A land spam for Voodoo as well, so no sign of air. Not really sure what these guys are talking about. Oh, that's funny from Funkoff. I really respect Funkoff's view on this game. I think he's helped so much early on FAF. I think I don't know if he agreed with everything that's been done by Pilot, although Pilot's another person I really respect in terms of making decisions. I think both of them, they do disagree, but they both made good arguments, and both of them really know the way this game works. And big thanks to Funkoff. I think if I had to choose somebody to design this game and to make all the changes, I would choose Funkoff, although it would be pretty conservative. He really tries to keep this game running as well as possible without too many changes. And I don't believe he's really that big a fan of NG-mod, although I have to be honest, I do kind of like the NG-mod. And this is something Funkoff does very often. Celine's, he's now left them. He's got to be on hold fire. They're just standing still, and they will not be seen by Voodoo's units unless Voodoo goes there with the ACU. So Funkoff, let's see what he's doing. He's got there's 2 engineers on the land spam. He's gonna have a total of 5 factories, 2 engineers reclaiming, also a radar. Still just sitting on Hydro and 2 pigeons, so he's at 160 power. 2 more than Voodoo here. The difference is that Voodoo only went with 1 pigeon then to the Hydro instead of Funkoff with 2 pigeons. Let's see what kind of difference that has made. Voodoo, too much power. Funkoff, not enough power, and the difference 750 reclaim for Funkoff, Voodoo 150. And that's really these 2 engineers getting 600 extra mass, and also Funkoff using quite a bit more power, even though he is making Funkoff making a little more and using a lot more. And what is that translating into? He's getting his 4th land factory, has pretty good expansion, a little faster than Voodoo. The 2 ACUs nearly identical in the middle. And in terms of total numbers of units, seen 10 tanks for Funkoff and 12 for Voodoo. So nearly identical in those senses. So where has Funkoff put all that extra mass that he's reclaimed? 5th land factory, and a single engineer now on power spam for Funkoff. 3 engineers on land spam for Voodoo. Getting his 5th factory in the first battle now. Strikers versus Thams. One of the more boring, you can say, engagements. See, a retreat is basically whoever has more tanks wins, and here Voodoo drawing Funkoff in. We saw just a great maneuver there. He was pulling him in and then tried to hit him from the side, but of course the Celine gave good recon. 3 tanks escaped for Funkoff. Quite a bit of New York reclaim left over. Really inconsequential given all that extra reclaim on this map. Now this engineer for Voodoo is going to get a bunch of mass. Funkoff now. Actually, both ACUs choosing not to engage each other. giving each other respect. Voodoo bringing in some arty as well. He's here knocking on the door for Funkoff. Funkoff has paused the radar. Will attempt to deny that mass extractor. Oh, nearly 3,000 reclaimed for Funkoff. Voodoo only 1,300. Also about actually quite a bit of extra power. 70 extra power for Funkoff. Looks like some of that. How do you get 70 power? Must be a reclamation of some trees. And now some units sneaking in for Voodoo, realizing there's not much here. Breaking through, he has the possibility of denying 3 mass extractors. Only 2 tanks in defense. And here, minute 6. Let's see if there's an actual advantage. 27 tanks for Funkoff. 29 for Voodoo. Nearly identical. 2 extra tanks. And now a raid through the middle. Voodoo reclaiming mass. 2 kills. Both ACUs denying one of the mass extractors in the middle. And so far nearly identical, except this is a pretty nice raid from Voodoo, but we do see a pretty good response from Funkoff. Voodoo has denied the reclamation in this bottom corner. Although there's been so much reclamation, probably doesn't make too much of a difference. Funkoff now reclaiming in the middle with the ACU. And a total of 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 land factories for Voodoo. We're seeing 5, 6, 7, 8, and a lot more for Funkoff. Funkoff staying with a massive land spam, still 1 tank remaining for Voodoo. Probably want to stay inconspicuous, and a big now push from Voodoo. And this is why I love watching the top players. Voodoo, even though he's no longer the Worldwide People's Champions, geez, I can't talk. Champion, although it'd be great to see him fight. He's still number 1 in 1v1 ranked. He's not number 1 in global, but in these matches, when he goes 1v1, he is top of the ladder. Really, I think it's the most consistent players of all the players who make mistakes. Actually, Funkoff, I gotta put him up in that category as well. Maybe not as good, hasn't really played as much, you can say. Hasn't been as prolific. And now a big push from Voodoo. Voodoo beginning to get an advantage to the map control. But we gotta say, with all this reclaim available, how important is map control? Denying this reclamation is important, but denying those mass extractors isn't going to be that important. Funkoff now pushing ahead. Gotta check out these numbers. 31 tanks for Funkoff. Voodoo also has a lot of artillery. 39. 13 artillery. It's about a 4-to-1 ratio. Funkoff attempting to cut off some of Voodoo forces could be dangerous, given that he does not have numbers. Of course, this is a hill. The main thing that a hill does, of course, is that it makes artillery a little more powerful, and it makes the travel time across this region much longer than just across flat ground. And of course, when you're facing auroras or something like that, this is so awesome to have. If you're facing Aeon, fight them here. If you're Aeon, do not fight on that hill. Fight. The best places for Aeon are really these choke points right here, and sitting here while the enemy is on one of the sides of the hill. And as you may have noticed, I'm very biased toward Aeon. Really, a lot of these videos are made for Aeon players, and I encourage people to play Aeon, and we do need more good players. I think in the top 10 there isn't any consistent Aeon players. Top 10 rank. Really, Pebble began playing, but I don't think he played that much lately. Now it appears that Funkoff was able to fight off Voodoo. One advantage, Funkoff has 25 kills versus Voodoo's 12. I say that's probably a little more aggression from Voodoo. And now we're finally seeing some first signs of air from Voodoo. Absolutely no air yet from Funkoff, who's just... I'm actually going to have to do this to see how many factories he's got. He's got 11 land factories. And this bomber now for Voodoo doing damage, taking out engineers would be the best thing. Funkoff though pushing Voodoo back. Good recon though from Funkoff. You gotta check, or for Voodoo, Tech 2 mass extractor going for second for Funkoff. Also, pretty big power advantage for Voodoo. Voodoo's been pretty low in power, though Voodoo now with Tech 2 land. So, big land spam, and this is probably why we have seen that push from Funkoff pushing Voodoo back. Voodoo did have an early advantage, but he's not giving up. Instead of trying to hold on to that with Tech 1 land spam, he's chosen to go to Tech 2. He's now got Pillars and Mongoose. He's also got Air. He's got Air against the player who has quite a bit more power, which is strange to see. Funkoff, 43 kills. Voodoo's completely giving up middle. Still a lot of reclaim in the middle. Some Pillars are going to try to avoid the ACU. More bombs from Voodoo. Will we see Tech 2 land? We're going to see some of the Air in Funkoff's base. Also some Tech 1. These far mass structures hasn't really been taken most of this game by either player. Now a push with Tech 1 land. This could be a mistake from Funkoff. These Pillars in close proximity are going to get good kills. And now with Mongoose coming in as well, you can see the hit points, 1500 for the Pillar. Really, if you're a UEF, this is such a great unit to have once you hit Tech 2. They will take care of themselves. Great damage. If you look at it, I mean, it's got 1500 health versus Tech 1 tank, which is 300. It's 5 times as much for only 4 times as much mass. Plus, it's got a lot more damage. It's got a little more range. And you can see what it just done to Funkoff. Has pushed him back, as you can see Voodoo can't see that Funkoff is getting an upgrade. You can anticipate the gun. Here comes the gun from Funkoff. And imagine Funkoff. Oh, sorry, this is Voodoo. Funkoff with so much extra power. Now so much power storage. Wow. Appears Funkoff spent 1,000 mass to get 4 power storages. No, sorry, he spent 750 to get 3 power storages. But that's going to let him overcharge a lot, which will be great. But of course, Stacy, you can't be everywhere at once. Oh, there goes a Mongoose. Funkoff now with 48 kills. And Funkoff is going to try to defend both sides against Tech 2. He is pushing his major force to the side. Voodoo now is going to get the upgrade on the right side. Minus 150, which means this is the gun. Tech 2 engineering upgrades cost a little less power. And the gun. More Mongoose. Like to see more engineers. This would be a great target for a bomb. For Voodoo. No UEF templates in this one. And one great thing that's happened, Tempest has made Aeon templates. Just like Voodoo has made for UEF. Although I believe he said the Aeon sign is 92 Tech 1 P-gens, which is quite excessive. Tech 1 point defenses in the middle for Funkoff. He's invested 750 mass in these. Single Tech 1 point defense, of course, costs 250 mass. So, same as 5 tanks, but a lot more damage, especially with those walls. Put it in the right place is quite nice. And if you see one, walk around. Best thing to do against the point defense is to never kill it. Just walk around, but we're seeing quite a few here. Of course, Mongoose can't outrange him. Funkoff, 58 kills. Voodoo, going quite low on health here. Some of these Pillars are now pretty big veterans. 7 kills, 7 kills, 3 kills. And Voodoo actually getting pushed back against superior Tech 1 land force. And now Air Factory and Tech 2 land for Funkoff here, minute 13. We are seeing some Ilshvas. Voodoo appears to have upgraded quite a bit. And is that a cruise missile? Where did the cruise missile? Yes, a cruise missile launcher. 1,000. That cruise missile launcher, I'm actually going to slow this down. It's taking out the Hydra. I think killing those Tech 2 mass extractors would be better. So while in the middle we got this fight with some Tech 2 point defenses, some great Tech 2 engineers from Funkoff. So one number which is hard to come by, which I've found out just for you guys. So Tech 2 missile launcher costs 700 mass. and 350, 3500 power. So not too much in that. The ratio for that one is a 5, same thing as a tank, so it doesn't cost too much. But the missile inside, each missile costs 180 mass. So if you're going to kill something with the cruise missile, and we've just seen an excellent target killed by Funkoff, this cost Voodoo 900 mass to build, and this cruise missile that Funkoff has built only cost him 180 mass. So that's why killing basically Tech 1 P-Gens, you want to kill a few at a time. And what is this going to kill? Another Tech 2 mass extractor. Voodoo in a lot of trouble now. That Tech 2 upgrade from Funkoff was a lot better. And it's a bit disappointing from Voodoo given that he had all that air. He could have seen this. But it was just so rapid the way Funkoff built it. And Funkoff, I think if Funkoff played a lot, which I think when he did, he was near the top of the ladder, has the chance to be the best player. There's a replay on this channel where he did beat Sir Louis on Fins when Sir Louis was top of the ladder, and the way that Funkoff played that, it was just amazing. He played with EF, and the ranges, how he knew exactly the range of his monkeys, things like that. Played it perfectly. Now Voodoo, and once again here Funkoff showing off how to put a Tech to point defense. This is the knowledge of Funkoff. Where he's fighting right now is exactly in range of these Tech to point defenses. He's right on the periphery. He knows what he's got. And he doesn't have a point defense facing a hill. He's got it on top of a hill. He is rushing in with some Ilshivas. Voodoo, oh, what an overcharge from Voodoo. Great overcharge from Voodoo. Funkoff sensing blood, he is full health. He no longer has the support of his Tech to point defenses. Voodoo does have some really nice pillars. I imagine these are probably some of the vets. And I think he has managed to escape there. He needs a couple more kills for another vet. One more kill and he gets a big boost. There it is, 7,000 health. I believe Funkoff thought he may have just got Voodoo. He's definitely in the driving seat on this one. TMD has finally gone up for Voodoo. And I think we're seeing just how great Funkoff is. And this cruise missile launcher on a small map like this, it was a bit of a mistake from Voodoo, not realizing that's going up. Of course, TMD costs 280 mass to build. So if you invest 700 mass in a missile launcher, and the other player is forced to make 3 TMDs, you've got your mass, you force them to use more mass. Of course, you use the mass a little later, so you got to think about inflation. But and inflation is quite high on maps where there is a lot of fighting, because the thing about this game is that you do have sort of a conservation of mass, which is approximate, but it's not real, because sometimes you do have overkills, like not in any of those cases. So those engineers basically are not turning into 50 mass chunks of mass, which is pretty much what Voodoo paid for him. There is a little bit less. And this is such a good looking map. More power and Tech 2 power for Funkoff. Voodoo here surviving, Tech 2 point defenses. Voodoo 62 kills, Funkoff pushing in. Tech 1 point defenses going up. Voodoo, he's got to be hoping to survive this. And Voodoo is also known as Scruffy. Scruffy, one of the best mid players on set, and so Voodoo definitely knows these types of battles quite well. How to use your ACU, how to micro it, overcharge. I think Voodoo just hit another vet. But Voodoo invested so much into mass extractors. I've seen 6 Tech 2 mass extractors. And 6 times 900 is a big number. That's 5,400 mass. That has been absolutely denied by the cruise missile launcher. Of course, 280 times 6 is whatever that is, nearly 1,500. It's about 1,500 mass that Funkoff invested in missiles, denying 5,400 mass and take the mass extractors plus the mass that it didn't make. Yeah, so this was a very good game. Funkoff just pushing Voodoo back. We've seen some tech to point defenses for Voodoo. Voodoo does have a nice reclamation. He has rebuilt some of his tech to mass extractors straight to tech 2, some tech to NGs. Looking at Funkoff's base though, he's got 1, 2, only 3. 3 tech 2 mass extractors. Still got tech 2 pushing up. Voodoo now. I believe this is a tech 2 factory that has now been destroyed. 94 kills, full health, 8,000. Funkoff, 109 kills. Both ACUs with guns. The difference, of course, between these two ACUs. Actually, this is Tech 2 Engineering, Funkoff as well, so you can see his regeneration is 52 health per second. The damage per shot for Voodoo is 200. For Funkoff, it's only 100, but he fires twice as fast. A lot of tech to point defense is not going up. Funkoff getting into position to end this one, although he doesn't want to lose too many of his units. Voodoo under very heavy fire here, losing health. He's trying to get a couple more overcharges. He does. More tech to point defenses up. Funkoff wants to get some artillery in range of these engineers. There goes a tech 2 land factory for Voodoo. And this is such a tough map. Tech to point defense creep for Funkoff. This engineer is still alive for Voodoo. Here, minute 20. Curious to see the reclamation. 16,000 for Voodoo. 30,000 for Funkoff. Huge difference. 14,000. And I think he had that huge advantage quite early in the game. We've just seen build capacity switch for Funkoff to air, and he's going to make Tech 1 bombers very quickly. Tech 1 bombers, of course, the ratio is 30. So if you want to use, well, that's a lot of reclaim there. For if you want to use 40 mass and turn it just into bombers, you want 40 mass. You want 1,200 power. The Funkoff has enough to do that. Actually, now he's stalling. His power is actually even better now. And here come the bombers for Funkoff. Let's see what they target. They're going to go after the engineers. See 730 health. Tech 2 engineer, 4 bombs. Take care of it, and that was a critical kill for Funkoff because there is no Tech 2 land factory for Voodoo. Voodoo has just lost his ability to make Tech 2 stationary units, which means that if bombers can take care of this TMD, Voodoo will need to make a Tech 2 land factory and a Tech 2 engineer and a TMD to defend against the missiles from Funkoff. And I have not seen this game, but that's exactly what Funkoff has recognized, and you can see immediately Funkoff switching. I mean, here's more bombers. TMD's got 150 health, and as soon as that goes, every single unit in Voodoo's base is going to be targeted, and there it goes. Some more great bombs for Funkoff. And let's see, Funkoff with a Tech 2 point defense creep. And the missiles are now flying. So what are they going to target? Once again, the Tech 2 mass extractors. And you got to say, Voodoo's had a lot more Tech 2 mass extractors in this game. See, everything's been paused. Actually, no. The fourth Tech 2 mass extractor going up for Funkoff. Funkoff investing a lot of mass into missiles. At Tech 2, a new Tech 2 factory has been constructed. And when you find yourself in this position, as Voodoo has, with not a lot of engineers, it makes it very difficult to recover from positions like this. When you got a lot of engineers and you lose a tick to factory, you just get one right away. An artillery installation from Funkoff. So Funkoff now having fun, although it will be a very effective unit. Tech to engineer runs away, he needs to get TMD up. More missiles flying in. 22 kills. This is the MVP right here. So Voodoo really just surviving, prolonging the inevitable. Actually now it looks like he has given up, not making the TMD. Voodoo. Has he been hit by a missile? He's getting an upgrade. It's a real possibility that he might be getting hit by a missile if Funkoff scouts. Funkoff leading, of course, with the ACU. And here is the artillery. And I think, yeah, there's one tech to point defense now with only one kill. Has been left over. Another tech to mass extractor dead. Voodoo. He may be getting tech 2 here. He's halfway to it. But he's just lost basically all of his mass. Funkoff demolishing Voodoo. And the reason Funkoff hasn't played in the Worldwide People Championships, and he would actually qualify for U2000, where I imagine he would win quite easily. Although it'd be nice to see him face Napalm. He's got to work on Saturday. That's unfortunate. He needs to skip a day of work, get U2000 championship, and then play championship whenever he wants. So hopefully people enjoyed it. I definitely did.